Okay. Calories versus macros. How do I track my food? How do I track what I'm doing to make sure that it is the right thing for me nutritionally, to make sure that I am getting the most out of my efforts in terms of, what I'm doing, what I'm counting, am I getting all the nutrients in that I need? This is a debate that goes on and on and on. And I've had this discussion recently quite a bit, and somebody was like, well, it really is calories in, calories out. You can't debate that. You can't fight that. That's what's been proven, blah, blah, blah. That's what all this research studies is on, etc. And I was like, yes, but they do these studies of calories in, calories out on healthy males. So, healthy bodies. If you have stress, chronic stress, hormone issues, hormone imbalance, gut issues, right? Fatigue, you're not sleeping well. And then if you have other health conditions, if you have a thyroid issue, if you have PCOS, endometriosis, something like that, if you have something else going on, calories in, calories out ain't going to do squat. It is not about calories in, calories out then. Your body literally won't function like that, especially the female body, because the female body prioritizes what it's focused on in terms of survival and systems. The female body is designed to store fat. The female body, even at a lean point, right, the body fat percentage is higher. It has to be. If you lower your body fat percentage too much, you will what? Lose your cycle, lose your period. Because it can't support that basic function if your body fat percentage is too low. So in terms of it being just about calories, it is not. And that's the other thing too that's like, oh, this makes me so nuts when people talk about, well, just eat less calories than what you're working out for, and blah, blah, blah. Like, listen, women don't have trouble losing weight because they can't do math, because they can't add and subtract. Ugh. I'm like gonna start sweating. I'm like all fired up about this. That's literally not what it's about. It's not about adding and subtracting or whatever. It's how you're feeding and fueling your body. So, for those of you that are not aware or don't know me, I'm Dr. Beth Westie, women's health and hormone expert, author of the books The Female Fat Solution, The Female Menopause Solution, talking all about how to eat for your hormones, your cycle, everything that your system goes through in your lifetime and throughout the month, nutritionally. Because these are things that we're not taught and we're not told that, hey, oh, by the way, your body changes week to week. Your hormones are going to be different. You're in a different body this week than you were last week. So nutritionally, you're going to need different things. That also makes a difference here versus here, right? So, and just as an example, in terms of calories versus macros, and I always use like the example of like 100 calories of gummy bears is different than 100 calories of almonds. Well, I literally grabbed these out of my pantry. I love Terrasol. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I really love them. And these are organic, raw, whole Brazil nuts. And about 3 nuts is a serving, and there's 90 calories. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's about 90 calories per 3 nuts. Which you're like, is that it? Yeah, that's it. It's not very much. But these are good. These are almost gone. I gotta order more. They're very good. There is 9 grams of fat, 2 grams of carb, and 2 grams of protein. But you can have 3 of these and be full for a heck of a lot longer than having a quarter cup of raisins, which is 120 calories, right? And again, it's not about calories, right? And there's no fat, 31 grams of carb, and 1 gram of protein. Wow. Wow. So you know what I would do with this for a snack? I would actually take, and I do this with dates, but you can also do it with raisins. Take a Brazil nut, and you could take a bite and eat 2 raisins. That's a good balance. Now, it's not very much protein, but you're getting lots of good healthy fats, lots of good nutrients, lots of selenium in here, which is really helpful for hormone balance for women, yes. Who doesn't like raisins? Wasn't it Chris Traeger said they're like nature's candy? For any of you Parks and Rec fans out there. But this is where it's like it's super easy to see. Like the content, the amount of sugars here per calorie is very different than here. And the biggest difference here is overall what's going to keep you fueled longer? What's going to keep you full longer? Right? Because it's not about calories. If you are trying to just count calories to have a certain thing happen, to lose 5 pounds, you're going to be stuck counting calories forever and trying to go into a deficit. And for the female body, if you do that enough times, it will create a stress response. And if you are stressed already, your body is going to lock down your metabolism even more and stop you from losing more weight. So if you're like, oh my God, yes, this is me. How do I stop doing this? How do I turn this around? Let's get into this. Well, first, make sure you go in the comments and you get on the wait list for the next Female Hormone Solution program that I'm running. I'm doing a masterclass on hormone testing on Tuesday, so in just a couple of days. So the only way you get access to it's a free masterclass, tons of great info about hormones, about hormone testing specifics, all of that. Make sure you're on the wait list for that because it's going to be really, really amazing. And I just did a thing on Instagram today where I talked about, I had somebody ask me like to do a podcast and talk about how to talk to your doctor about getting hormone testing and stuff like that because it can be really difficult. I might cover a little bit of that in the masterclass too because I've gotten so much feedback on that. So many women are frustrated and disappointed and feel stuck. So masterclass, come get access through the wait list. There it is. But so when we talk about calories versus macros and what to do about it, what do I count? It's always helpful just to know how long your body gets energy from the food that you're eating. So if you're looking at carbs, you're going to get energy anywhere from 5 minutes to very simple sugars all the way up to 1 hour. All the way up to an hour. You will get energy from food. So this would be like quinoa or oatmeal or potatoes or something. Fruit, sugars, any other quick, simple carb, that. Protein is next, and you will get energy for about 2 to 3 hours. About 2 to 3 hours. And then last is fats, and up to 4 hours. So if you are hungry and you're like, oh, I need a snack or I need something, in between meals, what am I going to do? What am I going to grab? You grab a small handful of raisins. Is this bad? It's not bad, but raisins by themselves, you're going to be hungry 15 minutes later. And because of what this does, if you just eat this, what this does to your blood sugar alone, a spike and then a drop. I mean, if you have young kids, you know what happens when they get candy. They get revved up and then they crash because they don't have anything to balance it out if all they're getting is sugars, right? It's the same impact, even though it's organic, even though it's a raisin, all that stuff, it still gets processed the same way by your system. Very, very fast. But if you pair that with some good, healthy fats, that's where you get that counterbalance. That's where you get the counterbalance, and your system does not have a spike and crash. And this, if you pair these things together, beautiful way to have a little snack to sustain you, especially for like, gosh, dinner's not quite ready yet. Dinner won't be ready in an hour, but oh my gosh, I need to eat something. I'm going to eat my arm off. The combo. Beautiful. Beautiful. Because either you're going to not eat anything, and then overeat at dinner, or you're going to eat too much and not be as hungry, not eat enough dinner, and then your whole eating pattern can be off. And the other thing to realize too, though, is again, in a healthy body that does not have any stress, that does not have any hormone disruption, that has no other issues. Again, they do a lot of these studies on caloric intake and caloric burn. A lot of it is done by the fitness industry, just like all of the other products and things that they market, and they say, oh, this showed somebody losing body fat percentage in this amount of time and blah, blah, blah. They do those studies on 18 to 22-year-old males that are Division I college athletes. Talk about being at the peak of their health and fitness. But if you are a 40-something-year-old female that has had children and has a lot of stress and doesn't sleep well at night, and you have hormone issues, your body's not going to react the same way. It's not about a deficit. And I hear this from gals all the time. I had this issue. I went in, I gained weight. I can't lose it no matter what. I went in and they just said, oh, cut your calories. You just need to eat less and move more. But I'm so exhausted. Yeah, that's not where we start. We start with macros. We start with macros. We look at how your body burns them and realize that if your system is under stress or has hormone disruption, it will burn these things at different rates too, as well as if you have gut issues and stuff, the breakdown, the processing of these nutrients can be different. You might need more protein to get the same job done, more minerals, things like that. Those are things that we address one-on-one with you to make sure we are not skipping anything, to make sure nothing is being missed, to make sure that you are getting everything you need to move from the stuck place that you're in forward, to see some results, to feel different, to feel better in your body. Because it's not about calories. Oh, I mean, again, if you're like totally healthy, great, good for you, yay, then sure. But if you have hormone issues, we got to start with the macros. We got to work with that. And that's how we move forward. So that's what I got for you guys today. Again, I love talking about this stuff and making sure that everybody understands how the female body functions, because the female body functions completely differently than the male body. And what we need to get to and stay in a healthy place is very different because our bodies change throughout the month. And I'm going to be talking about that, deep diving into that on the masterclass that I'm doing, which again, you get access for free, just being on the wait list for the next Female Hormone Solution program. So other resources I have for you are my tinctures for hormone balance, estrogen balance. Take this days 1 through 14, progesterone balance, days 15 through 28, to make sure your cycle is being managed and regular. And then I also have my adrenal balance and Metabo Boost tinctures, again, specifically designed. I formulated these myself for the female body because there isn't anything else out there like it for the female body. And they are an amazing addition to help your system manage hormones and manage your health. So they're not magic, right? Like they can be a great tool to add in, but it can be so helpful to have that, especially if you're under a lot of stress and your system's kind of going bananas. So other resources I have besides my books are my YouTube channel, which is Dr. Beth Westie. You can subscribe to stay updated on all the videos I have coming out. And then my podcast is called The Female Health Solution. Again, subscribe to make sure that you are getting all the info that I've got. So that's what I got for you tonight. Have a great night, and I will see you later.